Good morning. Appreciate you guys being here. First and foremost, want to thank everyone that was at Autzen Stadium on Friday night. First Friday night that I got to experience there, and our players and our staff as well, and they were awesome. Certainly, the energy, the juice, the atmosphere was incredible. Always plays a big role in how we play, and certainly a lot of people there. Really exciting time for everyone. Couple other mentions. Number one, glad to hear that MJ Tafisi is doing well. Certainly watching our opponent play this Saturday night. Saw that there was an injury, but glad to hear he's doing well. Thoughts and prayers to him and his family. Feel like our team's getting better. Had certainly some improvement, some advancement in several areas, and at the same time, several other areas that we want to improve upon and have addressed and immediately attacked in Sunday's practice, and will carry over into tomorrow's practice. And then obviously a tremendous opportunity and challenge this coming weekend that we're really excited about. So from a personnel injury standpoint, the big question is, of course, Jake. Jake had an injury on Saturday, and he will not be able to play the rest of the season. Okay. Aside from him, the guys that were injured in the game, Troy Dye, Javon Holland, they're cleared. They're good to go. Like we thought, they were more minor injuries. And that being said, open to questions.
With Jake, Mario, one, what does it do to the depth there? Because Patrick had been on scout team, but now that you're down multiple tight ends, what does it do in the short term for him personally? This was a guy who's really raising his draft stock. Did he have loss of value insurance? Because this could affect his long term in a big way.
Well, you know what? He's a really good player, and I think nowadays, these injuries are very fixable, and he'll come back and he'll train and he'll be ready to play, and we think he's going to play a long time. He's a really good football player. And in terms of our depth, what it does for our team, Spencer Webb goes back to tight end. Patrick Herbert, who has been repping with the second team and third team as well, also will get more action in preparation to play. And we trust them both. Certainly Spencer's had a lot of reps at that position. And, we feel Patrick is going to be an excellent player. We're just going to have to accelerate his development.
Mario, you just said there's areas where you need to improve. I'm curious, on defense, what are those areas? Because obviously you guys are off to a historic start on that side of the ball. And the second part of that, what challenges does Eason face going against your defense? Well,
I think if you ask any one of our coaches, there's always room for improvement and betterment. And it all starts with the way that we tackle, with the discipline of our eyes, our positioning, our assignments, our alignments. Things of that nature are fundamentals, right? Getting our pads down, getting our hands inside, and knocking people back. I think all those things are really critical to the advancement of our defense and entire team in general. And then on both sides of the ball, third down. Third down is something that we want to continually improve upon, because obviously that's an extra turnover every time you get an opportunity to stop a team from moving the football.
Obviously, you never want a guy like Jacob out, but is there comfort knowing that you guys have guys like Ryan and Hunter, upperclassmen, and that they got a lot of reps maybe during the off season when Jake was, kind of sidelined?
Well, I guess I want to address the part with Jake first. You never want to see any player get injured, and it hurts you, personally, and it hurts, It hurts everyone when a guy that's worked so hard, that's overcome as much as he has, and the type of season he was having, to have to endure something like this, which he will come out well on the other side. It's certainly, and Jake will tell, Jake is not a pity party guy. He's ready to attack the whole process of getting healthy again so he could play again. But that's the first part of that question. And the second part is, the way we develop, the way we train, we have confidence in the next man up. And it showed up Saturday again, on both sides of the ball. So complete confidence and trust in our guys, and we have to continue to prepare and continue to elevate the way that we prepare week to week.
Notice Hunter Campmoyer at the top of the depth chart looked like he played a lot on Friday. What have you kind of seen from him, especially as a receiver making strides?
Mm-hmm. I know he'd like to have that one back in the end zone, but aside from that, he's just done it all in practice, as has Ryan Bay. I think both those guys are a really good combination at both the Y and the F position, as well as Spencer and Patrick. And those guys they've logged a lot of football, and they understand our systems really well. So complete confidence in them entering this football game.
Further down the depth chart, Mario, on the offensive line, Randazzo looked like he had a foot injury. Jaramillo was held out. Just what's their status at this point?
Yeah, Chris Randazzo injured his foot. and he's going to be out a couple more weeks, but he should be back to join us later in the season. Dawson, we're evaluating. He got a little bit twisted up in practice the other day, so we're going to further assess him and see where he's at.
We're on the right, Ryan.
Mario, what does the 2019 Washington team look like as you get ready for that road challenge?
Well, they look like they always look like, really big and powerful guys up front on both sides of the ball. A lot of talent all over the field, is as talented as a team as you'll see in the country, and very well coached. So certainly, an opportunity that our guys are really excited about.
Had a couple guys go out defensively, and it seemed like the backups came in and played at a really high level. What's been the key in just developing the depth, especially defensively this season?
Well, the mother of all learning and teaching, the repetition. Ever since camp, the way we practice, we two-spot just about every drill, meaning that if you had just got here as a walk-on and you're running with the fourth team, you're going to get the same amount as reps as a first teamer. And it's structured that way because you don't know. Somewhere along the line, along the course of the season, someone who you least expect is going to have to play a significant role in you winning a football game. And those processes, they pay off in moments, situations like this, and it did on Saturday.
James, one of those guys, Mario, was Hockey Woods. Can you speak to just how far he has come? Because a year ago, he obviously was in your doghouse in a bad way after 4 games and really didn't see the field very much thereafter. And now he steps in and makes critical plays against Colorado.
Well, doghouse would be your choice of words and how you write things. I've never mentioned the word doghouse in a press conference. But I just so we're clear, so we're on the same page, right? Clarity and everything, transparency. It was his turn. It was his opportunity, and he was very physical right from the get-go. You guys saw how downhill and how instinctive he proved to be on certain plays, and I know he wants to have other plays back, but he played really hard. He played with some pretty good technique, and he's excited to have his role increased overall. So we're excited for hockey. The fact that we were able to get him back for the extra year, and all that hard work he has done is now paying off.
Coach, with Gus going out and Kayvon having to step up, how did you assess his play this last Friday? And going forward, cutting him loose, I assume he's going to be able to play a little bit more free and do what he does best?
Cutting him loose.
Well, I think with more playing time, he wants to. I guess. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say.
It's okay. No, we're all good. I think that being that he got extensive play, he did a pretty good job now, and it's showing up because he's really practicing hard, paying attention to detail, playing with great technique and fundamentals. And the more you feel comfortable with a position, when those, I would say, the more TV attractive opportunities, what might be, some of the things, everyone wants to see the big pass rush on third down or whatnot, which is awesome. But, you've got to set edges and play the run well to get to third down. And that's what I'm really excited about, because it's still kind of A-B before you get to C. And he's done a really good job improving his technique and fundamentals so that he's having more successful play. And I think you're going to continue to see him week after week just develop more and more. I mean, he's a guy, just like anybody, that the more reps you get, the more comfortable you feel. And it allows him to play fast. And we saw a lot of spurts of really fast, explosive play from him on Friday. Does that make sense, kind of?
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I was after.
When I was saying cut him loose, I think of when I cut my kids loose and they go running around the house like crazy. I'm like, oh, we don't want to do that either now, so.
Run game probably had its best day on Friday. I wonder, after you've gone back and watched the film, kind of what did you see that was so critical on a lot of those plays?
I think Coach Arroyo called a really good game. I think we were in sync, the running backs and the offensive line, the tight ends, the wide receivers did an excellent job blocking down the field. I thought Justin also, in the way he manages the run game and his protections, certainly allowed for some good chunk yardage and some protection adjustments, that allowed us to keep the chains moving and give us some good opportunities. But we're improving. The bye week has paid off. Coach Mirabal, Coach Mashal have done a really good job working with those guys. But credit goes to the players. They've taken ownership, and it's improving.
On the left, Rob.
Back to Kayvon, I think in the spring, player of his abilities, and you had Coach Avalos who uses that stud position, I think everybody thought, oh, that's a perfect fit. But you started him on the D-line in the spring. Do you feel like now that's paying off? That, in hindsight, that was the right decision. And when he settles back in at defensive line after Gus goes down, did he have a foundation in place from the spring and the off season that he could fall back on after working at stud in preseason camp this year?
Yeah, being an early enrollee certainly has its benefits. I mean, you get to see a lot now. You're sitting in a lot of meetings. You're developing from a strength and conditioning standpoint, and you've got spring ball underneath your belt as well. And what happens, those two positions, the body types are almost identical. So you've got to have the versatility to play both because you just don't know what's going to happen, God forbid, from an injury standpoint, right? So the ability to be versatile and as much as we are multiple on defense has been critical. And yeah, all those reps that he had has certainly played a major role in understanding the whole thing. I mean, it's like anybody else, right? If you know what this guy's doing, the guy beside you is doing, where your support is, how you can leverage the ball when it does come your way, all while understanding your own discipline and assignment, it makes you a different player. When you're just struggling to, what do I got to do? Okay, this is my assignment. You play slow. So this allows them to think fast, react quickly, and it's paying off.
James?
Can you speak to their offensive line where I know that they list them all on the depth chart this week? Harris didn't play last week. I doubt they'll make an announcement to let you know. But Harris and Kirkland are both a little dinged up. But Adams didn't play in this game last year, and he's one of the better tackles in this league. Just what is it about those three that makes that line that good?
Well, they're a really good offensive line. I mean, they're big, athletic, powerful guys. They open up some big holes for their running game. Their discipline and their technique. They get downhill in a hurry. They also get the ball outside. They do a great job protecting their quarterback, and their quarterback is a very special player, can make every throw in the building, great pocket presence. They've protected him to the point where he doesn't really, hasn't been under much duress at all. And he's got just great feet and, again, great just pocket awareness, and he makes a lot of plays and extends plays with his feet as well. So just overall, very impressive offensive team. And schematically as well.
Do you expect maybe to have more 4 wide receiver sets with Breland out now? Is that a thing you maybe will look into, just going more wide out?
Well, it's not really our personality to do that. I think in this league, as many teams that play the odd wide and the odd tight scheme, you could really put yourself in a tough position in terms of running the football if you just try to play without a tight end. That hasn't been our personality. So, it might be a good thing for spring, though.
After 4 years of Browning, are they doing anything differently offensively with, Eason, a much bigger guy, or is it just the same thing that he's running?
Well, I mean, I think everybody in the conference is evolving. Obviously Browning was a great quarterback, great player for them, and then Eason is, I mean, you've seen the tape now. The guy's doing great things for them also, but they can stretch the field. He can make every throw. There are a lot of similarities to our own quarterback. I mean, he could put it right on the money, throw it in tight windows, understands coverages really, really well, understands his protections, has really gotten himself out of trouble sometimes and made big plays. And he'll hang in there and he'll take a shot in order to get the right timing on his throws out. So, and had a chance to see him in the SEC as well a few years ago. He's a tremendous competitor and a tremendous player.
Front left, James, time for 2 more.
You ran, I want to say it was either 20 or 21 personnel a little bit against Colorado. You had not done that much at all prior? Was that just a new wrinkle for? I don't know you want to give anything away, but it looked like a new wrinkle. Is that?
We had used it before. We had gone it a couple times. You must be missing out on your film study, man. You can't be cheating that, okay? But 20 personnel, meaning 2 backs, and the 3 wides or whatnot. No, we had used it a couple times before. You're always trying to find ways to get more guys on the field, formational advantages or whatnot, and those guys are good players, but it's good. It's good stuff for us.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, guys. You better study your film, man. You've been cheating. You've been slacking. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate you.